Hey everybody, how's it going?
What's up, everybody? We
What's
had a
this
week
episode?
off of the podcast. Feels weird to be back, huh?
Yeah, right. It was episode 135.
Yeah, yeah, 135. And we got a good bit of news this week. We got some stuff with MetaQuest, Xbox, some Mario Kart World update. People aren't happy about. Got a new addition to the Nintendo Switch Online for GameCube.
A
Uh,
lot of good stuff to talk
yeah,
about this
there's
week.
there's there's some good stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Maybe not a lot, but some good stuff for sure.
Good stuff. Yeah, definitely. Guess we'll go ahead and just dive into it.
Dive in head first.
I accidentally clicked off the notes. My bad.
Of course.
Boy.
As
Do
he
you,
clicks around, brings it back up.
do you know what we had first?
Oh yeah, it was some we had some stuff with Stellar Blade. So the director came out and said the narrative was lacking, and he essentially wants to make up for it in the sequel. Which of everything when I played that game, that was like the one thing I mentioned before. Is like the story's lacking, and you could tell how they made up for it with some of the world building elements. But it was like
For
something
sure.
they could rectify and fix in a sequel game, and make some stuff not as big. Obviously, I know they mentioned it before that one of the reasons was they said, well, cutscenes were expensive, so they were trying to. That's like what the biggest area they could save money was not doing these a lot of cutscenes. Which you don't always need cutscenes here, there, or you could probably find ways to save money when doing them. So uh, I don't mind the world building stuff, and you know what they've made bank on this game to where they definitely will have a bigger budget for the second title. So probably add more to the combat, refine that a little bit, and then just add more to the story. And I mean, I don't see how you could screw up the sequel too badly. They definitely nailed they nailed like the art, the music, and I would say even the gameplay, just absolutely knocked it out of the park. So if you just really fix the story issue better, it'd be a great game.
Yeah,
Like an
narrative
8 or a
was
9 out of 10.
obviously the biggest issue with it. I still didn't think it was bad, but it was kind of lacking in a lot of areas.
Yeah, that's where I would say it's like it's got good. You would want a little bit more here or there, but obviously they were setting up for a sequel at the end of the game for that potential, and then with a sequel obviously coming because this game did well both on PlayStation and now on PC, and they're just raking in the money.
Right.
I mean, that's you just need to rectify it, take a little bit more time. Because outside of that, like I thought it was a really, really good game.
Oh yeah, definitely. Shout out to Star Stripes Nerd and Men to Men Games.
Awesome. Hey, what's up, everybody?
But yeah, I mean, I agree. I think they focus a little more on narrative. This go around could be another banger.
It's like it's like the first entry. You could say in a lot of games the first entry is not always the strongest, but you have to lay the groundworks. I'm not gonna say it's a 1-for-1, but you kind of look like another game that was heavy into the narrative, like the first Mass Effect game. And the first game is so different from the other two, mainly because it had to like build the groundwork. Where a lot of it maybe it isn't natural, but it's like some of your companions, they're just kind of lore dumping on you about certain cultures.
Yeah.
But like you have to get that framework there as well, and then the subsequent games you can actually go heavier into the actual narrative storytelling because you've already built the base level, the groundwork of the world and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's kind of how you could view this. Like you could say it's lacking in some areas, but it's got a base level foundation to work with. Now it just needs to continue to expand that and build upon it, and because the gameplay was absolutely stunning. Obviously, you want something a little bit more challenging, better variety of gameplay with this. I immediately blank on the gameplay style. It's not roguelike. I'm almost thinking that.
Dark Souls.
Like a Souls-like essentially gameplay. I don't know why. Poof! Completely forgot about it.
It's the mustache, man. I'm telling you, it's warping your brain.
Whatever attempt it is. But I mean, yeah, that's like it's good gameplay. Just need to obviously you don't want the same style. You don't want to get boring, but new enemies and you add more to it, and more creativity with the boss fights and stuff like that. And I think it'll be the sequel could be even better.
Let me ask you: have you added any crazy mods to the game yet?
I haven't had a chance to play it yet on PC.
Oh, okay.
I will get around to it. It might not be
Yeah.
right away. Especially
No,
in a
I'm
couple
going
days,
to
so I'll have
get it,
to
but I'm just going
pack
to
up
wait
my
for a
PC.
sale since I already. I know it'll be better on PC, but I'll pick it up at some point for sure.
Yeah.
And then I guess we can just kind of show off what we got real quick since there isn't much. For me, it's just one thing. This came in yesterday. It just came out yesterday too, and that is The Thing Remastered Deluxe Edition. So this was originally a game that came out, I think, in 2011. So it's like a remastered edition of this game by Atari and Night Dive Studios. And I'm a big fan of the movie. I never played the game when it came
Hopefully
out back in the day. So I'm pretty excited to check it out. But I absolutely love this movie. I love The Thing. I think it's one of the greatest like sci-fi horror movies of all time. So I was pretty excited to get that. And it was even as a deluxe edition, it was $50. So
it's not bad.
Yeah.
So I had a few stuff that I picked up at GameStop. So the first two things I'm gonna send Brandon's way because one I already have and one I have no way to even play it. But one is Super Mario 2 on the NES and then the 3DS of the Ocarina of Time 3D. So I try not to cover up the mic, which is
awesome.
Cool stuff.
For sure.
And then
I don't know why a lot more retro stuff in your store than I've seen.
They always do. They even get occasionally some neat stuff because I showed it to you beforehand. Obviously, need to get batteries and stuff like that. But they had the Wiimote, the Legend of Zelda Wiimote, which was really cool. And $35 for a Wiimote.
That's a good deal. You could argue it's
expensive, but for that one specific, I thought it was pretty dope.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And on top of it, I bought 2 other games. One I already had, but just in my Zelda collection to have it.
Yeah,
Breath of the Wild for the Wii U, which I could technically play. I've got a Wii U, so
I still need that for Wii U as well.
And then it was the 25th anniversary edition of Skyward Sword that they had complete in box.
Got the orchestra soundtrack.
Yeah, it even came with the soundtrack and everything else. So
it's crazy. All you're missing is the big box to have the complete package.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of damage on the front, but other than that, the case itself is in good condition for a 10, 15-year-old game at this point.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
It's in pretty decent condition.
Yeah, I love it. Good stuff.
Oh yeah, for whatever reason, always get good stuff at my GameStop. So that I'm about to not have access to anymore. So got to find another store that's got some good retro stuff.
Yeah, I don't even have access to a GameStop anymore. It's unfortunate. Not that they ever really got anything good in anyway, but I do stop in when I'm out of town, different places, and seem to never find anything. But
I guess I got lucky with mine. Because they always have retro stuff for like PS2, PS3, the Xbox stuff. They always have. They have some Vita games, but it's just the game, and they don't have any good games in there. And then they always have a bunch of DS and 3DS stuff, and occasionally they'll have like a 64 or NES.
Absolutely despise loose DS and Vita and 3DS games.
But it happens
because they're so small, especially Vita. I think the most I despise because it's like they're so tiny. That
I don't know. Did the Vita? Oh no, the Vita games had their own plastic, but the little case usually came in like a cardboard box. I think am I misremembering that, or some did?
No, it came in a little plastic box.
They did, but sometimes the plastic box was within another cardboard box where it had the manual and stuff like that, so you can see how that's a little easier to throw out.
Sometimes, yeah. But I guess what we got next here.
Some Final Fantasy Tactics. So essentially, they were coming out and talking about the updated script, and you can take this how you are, because there are some people that will be, until proven otherwise, skeptical that they're updating this for the modern audience, and the whole issue that comes with that. But essentially, they came out and said that while the original script works I can read the actual quote word for word. He said, Yeah. All right. I had to make sure I had the right one. I wasn't going to misread the wrong thing. He said, "I've grown older since I first wrote the script for this game, and my perceptions have changed accordingly. There may well be some minor changes to how certain lines are phrased that reflect this." So he said that, as well as he essentially said, well, the old text was written to be read, not to be spoken. And if they left it like that with the voice, with the voiceover, it would sound weird and unnatural, to where it's one of those things, like if you're reading it, it sounds fine, but if it's spoken, it doesn't always come off as natural. as well as with that. So hopefully they're just fixing it to, I don't know, make things more sound better when it's spoken, and it's not like whole on changing like interpretations and stuff like that.
From
Where some people obviously see this, and with the track record of, oh, you're going to change it, just completely ruin it because
but this
you're
does
chasing this
have
mythical modern audience.
this does have the original version of the game and the remastered version of the game.
Yeah, so hopefully that there's still the original there, and if you want to play the original with the original script,
Yeah.
Unchanged, then I think there'd be less issues.
It's good that they're given the options to have both, because a lot of people opt to not do that. So that part's cool.
Yeah, because one of the other things, this wasn't like a quote, but they did bring it up. It was asked to adhere to the modern sensibilities, which just means absolute BS, because everyone hates gamers. Both the media, corporate media, and the people making your games, just hate you, but they want your money. Matsuno essentially denied, saying most of the changes were made to account for the addition of voice acting and stuff like that. So hopefully that's the only change was made. And
hopefully, yeah. Hopefully.
But I mean, people have been burned before, so at this point, it's a wait and see.
Wouldn't be surprised. Square Enix has done, some weird things in the past, so
yeah,
would not be surprised. What's this we got about Game Freak trademark? I didn't see this.
Yeah, so there was a trademark. Obviously, this isn't related to the new Pokemon, some of the stuff that had come out, and I believe this is for the actual TCG, not the Pocket one. But the idea that there's rumors that the next major, or one of the future coming Pokemon card sets will revolve around Rayquaza, however you say his name, that it'll revolve around that Pokemon specifically, and it'll essentially that's like the next big themed one.
Didn't we get
Rayquaza and Pokemon Emerald? I don't know if it changed from when this dropped, because this news had dropped 4 days ago. Something, if anything, had changed since then.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure there was something that came out that
this is based off of
Black Bolt and White Flare.
This is based off of a trademark that they had filed. So I don't know if we've gotten one for one full confirmation, but obviously they filed a trademark. It opens some eyes.
I don't know if this is what you're talking about or not. I'll pull it up on screen here real quick. I could be misunderstanding what you're talking about, but this is what I saw. I
think it was named Storm Emerald.
Is this what you're talking about? The new expansion Mega Evolution?
I think so. It's possible.
Yeah, so they actually officially announced there's a trailer on YouTube for it and everything.
Oh, so yeah, this came out like right after they wrote this, and I saw it then.
Yeah, look at this Mega Latias EX. That is a badass card. That Venusaur is a badass card too. Yeah, that's pretty sick.
I like how it gets leaked and the next day they actually announce it. That's great. Let's see it.
I mean, isn't that how it goes a lot of times?
That's how it always goes.
Yeah, that's
well, that's good. It's probably one of the more popular just generations and legendaries, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. Were you able to pick up any of the stuff for Black Bolt or White Flare that's gone up on Pokemon?
I haven't even seen it. I haven't seen anything of it.
I got an EBT.
Oh, no. So Black Bolt and White Flare will reportedly be arriving in July.
Yeah.
This meanwhile, Japan will be seeing several.
But you gotta already buy them. They've been going up every Friday on Pokemon Center. They just sell.
I don't even go to that website, so.
But I'm giving them to Lucas, so I'm not keeping them.
I mean, the impossibility if I can't walk into a store and just buy.
I love that gen. But I'm just kind of sort of fed up with actual Pokemon TCG at the moment. I was just kind of like, hey, let's just do a trade. You can have those. Screw it, whatever.
Impossible, and they clearly don't care to do anything.
I mean, I like it. I like them, but like, I'm not.
The scalping's such a bad issue, and they just don't.
It makes me not even want to support it at all. I'm like, I'm good enough to be honest with TCG Pocket. Like, it is what it is. Whatever. I mean, I shouldn't have to go wait in line at Walmart and watch all the people in front of me steal all the Pokemon cards and leave me with.
I mean, they can do what GameStop has started doing, being like where they put limits on what you can buy and stuff like that.
They could, but they don't. They sure could, but they don't. As long as they sell them, they don't care. That seems to be the general consensus for Target, Walmart. Any of the places.
I mean,
I
let's
guess
just say,
besides
because
GameStop.
if you've seen those scalpers and stuff like that, you can just look at me and like, yeah, you're a scummy person.
Listen to this. So about the EV Super Premium Collection, right?
Yeah,
About that big box that people were waiting in line for days for.
yeah.
Let's just say a local game store was selling it in there for $450.
That's
Yes,
just the scummiest thing ever.
ESRB is like I think 120 or something. Yeah,
I hope that Game Store sits on it forever and can't sell it.
it's
I'm
just
just gonna say
crazy,
you should
man.
never be paying for packs. You should never pay a penny over MSRP because I
No,
refuse to.
I have that rule for anything. I mean, I don't care what it is. Like, I think it's just stupid. I mean, if you can't wait or like,
Like I get it.
if you
Maybe
got
this
money, then whatever. If you got all
if it's
the
like a
money,
10,
it doesn't
20-year old
matter.
unopened pack, like that's one thing. But if it's brand new, like you're just a piece of shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think it's ridiculous. Scalping for all that stuff. It's in every hobby too. It's not just Pokemon. It's in video games. It's in. I even see it in movies with the limited, like super limited Blu-ray releases for like horror movies and stuff, and they like print 100 of them, and then you see somebody turn around selling it for $400. It's like just a crazy.
That's just stupid on their part. We're gonna make 100. I'm like, oh, what? So you're gonna buy the 100 yourself and resell them? Like, okay.
It's dumb, but
Wouldn't surprise me stuff like that
sometimes these
happens.
companies do that, man. It's so stupid, so stupid. What do we got?
Movies are a little bit easy because at least you can still access the product. This is like you
Yeah,
can't even access the base product of this. Like that's the
right.
problem.
I know.
Well, like
It's
I get it's like it's a limited edition, but yeah, but you can still get the game without the limited edition. It might suck for you, but with this, it's like you don't even have that access to the special or limited because they're immediately bought out and scalped.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's really stupid. It's all dumb. It's just, it's really, really dumb.
This isn't going to get me to come back and play the game, but if you are obviously a fan of Call of Duty, essentially Beavis and Butthead are coming to what they say season 4. These new little characters.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, that's kind of. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of cool. Am I gonna want to go in? And it's just Warzone, right? It's not in like called Black Ops 6, right?
Oh, they say season 4.
I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm kind of pretty out of the loop.
They just said the season 4, so. The duo will seemingly be available as skins that can be used in both Black Ops 6 and Warzone multiplayer matches, starting with the mid-season refresh.
What I don't like is that they're turning Call of Duty into Fortnite. I don't like that because they're bringing in all these different characters and stuff that like is making it lose its identity.
Because, I mean, I'd argue it lost its identity, 5-10 years ago, but.
Yeah, but not like bringing in like characters from franchises. I mean, it just makes it.
I mean, it seems to be working for them. I mean, I lost interest in the series long before they even tried this, and this definitely just kind of proves that why would I come back?
Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
I mean, really, like, if you really want to ask, I'd rather just play a Beavis and Butthead game alone, not a Call of Duty skin.
There's one on the Game Boy if you want to play it. Just saying.
I meant like a good new one, not a bad old one.
How do you know it's bad? I had it as a kid. I think it was
good.
a pretty rough game.
I've had games before and they were bad. Like the old South Park games were terrible.
Did you ever play South Park Rally on 64?
I don't know if I played that one. I know I played one of them on the 64.
Or Chef's Love Shack. That was a really bad one. I did like the South Park, the one where you threw the snowballs. I mean, you could say it's bad, but I still think it. I played it a few years ago again on the EverDrive. I still thought it was pretty fun. You like to throw the snowballs at the turkeys and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Hey, what's up, Geeky? Appreciate it. Hey, Star Stripe Sir. How's it going?
Yeah. But we finally got some information about why there were some non-Mario character. There were no non-Mario characters in Mario Kart World, or at the very least at launch. Kosuke Yabuki essentially came out and said it with an interview with was it Quest France or something like that. Some France article. But it said that with so many characters from the Mario franchise being playable in Mario Kart World, it felt incongruous and unnecessary to add anyone else. Word for word, the actual quote was, "Didn't seem necessary to us, given everything we could already do with Mario." Uh, and yeah, somebody asked him
Are they
about
trying to
bringing
say that
characters from ARMS that he'd made, and he said absolutely not. So I guess the
they're just
idea
not
was
going to bring in Inkling or
I guess they
Link?
say like at the very least, as it stands right now, is like there's enough characters from just the Mario universe. Why dip into these? And to be fair, 8 and 8 Deluxe were the same way. But hopefully, as the game moves on and they continue to add more content, this isn't like a forever thing where they're just gonna they only did it for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and now they're not doing it at all, because I think it would be a good way. Like you continue to expand more tracks that are obviously Mario related and stuff like that, but it can't hurt to dip into DLC with other characters and other
Am
IPs.
I wrong in remembering that they added Link like way later on? Wasn't it? It wasn't a. He wasn't a
It was
launch.
I think it was a DLC.
Okay, I thought so. Yeah.
I think most
I
of
mean,
those
it's
characters were DLC.
there's a good possibility that they could, they're going to support this game until the end of the Switch too. So I mean, who knows what they're going to come up
Yeah.
with or end up doing and stuff like that. There's,
It would be nice
whether,
to see that they already did it, but like at launch, like yeah, sure, it makes sense. And maybe the first few updates you want to really expand upon the Mario universe, but it
yeah,
can't hurt to start adding more DLC with other regions in the Mario Kart.
sure, yeah,
It's like ideally, like you think of Mario Kart, yeah, it's Mario, but like all these Nintendo IPs, this is like a racing game. You can it just gives
it
you
makes
more
sense to
ideas
add
and
in
more
all these
content to
characters.
do to different tracks, or maybe they add like a whole other new map for certain worlds and stuff like that. It'd be an
Yeah,
idea.
I mean, I would love to see him expand the free roam world map, adding in like Delfino. Is it Delfino
Yeah.
Plaza? The island stuff like that, and like
And add more stuff, a way to see like what challenges you have and haven't done, same thing with the coins. Just add
yeah,
content in the order that we have and stuff like that, and more stuff to
right,
do. But while
yeah,
it's fun to hop on for a little bit and ride around, after a while, what you're doing can get repetitive and stuff like that.
yeah, for sure.
Obviously the actual core racing is fun, and I've enjoyed what I've played so far. But a
Yeah,
little bit more with that, and then just continue to support it and add more content.
yeah, definitely, definitely. I see
I
him.
mean, yeah, because the biggest obvious one is what Sonic is doing, and like that's exactly what Sonic Racing is doing, and they're bringing in different
Yeah,
ideas.
they're bringing in, from Yakuza or Like a Dragon, and it's a that. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. I actually haven't really heard anything bad from anybody, but like what they're doing with it is unique for that type of kart racer. I love that they're doing like the different dimensions and stuff that you go through
Yeah,
while racing, kind of similar to Mario Kart World in a way.
and
Uh,
Mario Kart already dabbled in it, so don't dabble in it and go away from it. Something that people
yeah,
obviously are wanting and asking for.
yeah, and I guarantee that they support that Sonic racing game for a while too. I know a lot of people are really excited about that, and I'm excited to check it out too. So
Yeah, and especially with this Mario Kart game, with it being one of the best, more popular games or IPs that they put out. If it comes even closer, even had half as much success as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is, that's a lot of people. So like, you can't tell me you don't have the monetary, the money to invest and to continue to add with this game.
yeah, for sure, they're going to support this for a while. I see an expansion pass coming out, and
Yeah, and this isn't one
new
for
and old
one. It's
tracks.
a little further down in the notes, but they came out and said that Mario Kart World has sold, and I believe this is just Japan alone, but it has sold 1 million physical copies in Japan of this game. That's not the
Oh
digital;
wow,
these are physical. So 1 million. This game essentially in Japan alone has sold probably close to $80 million with just this game in physical. And probably you think worldwide, this game probably is made well over $100 million,
did we have
even
in
if you
the
consider
notes
the
about?
$50 tie-in.
Yeah, did we have in the notes about the update and the outrage on the update and stuff like that?
No, I haven't heard anything about the
Oh
update.
god, people are pissed about this update. So they updated to version 1.1.2, which was released yesterday. Uh, and the patch notes from Nintendo state that has adjusted courses selected in random when selecting next course in a wireless versus race. While confusingly phrased, this change looks to be a deliberate move by Nintendo to nerf the game's random course selection option when playing in versus mode, something many fans have been using to opt out of intermission tracks whenever possible. And then it goes into what is an intermission track.
Isn't that the whole point of the verses? Is it's just the 3-track loops for the courses? That's why you'd play the versus mode.
Pretty much, yeah. They're kind of nerfing.
So there shouldn't even be intermediate tracks in the versus mode. It should just be the actual courses. For that's the understanding that I was under.
Oh, maybe
because it works differently in the online mode.
It says fans have been using the random option to deliberately skip intermission tracks where possible, hoping instead to be transported to a faraway course where they are plonked at the starting line. In these cases, players are then given the classic 3-lap Mario Kart course experience. Now with this change, random also picks from the nearby courses the game suggests, meaning faraway courses are no longer guaranteed to appear, and intermission tracks are now more likely. So basically forcing you to do intermission tracks when people are trying to skip them and just play the game. Nintendo has basically stepped in and said, no, you're supposed to play this way. They saw characters clamoring for a more traditional online mode and did the exact opposite of what they wanted. So I guess we'd have to play and check it out ourselves, but essentially they're saying the way they want you to play is to play with the intermission tracks and not skip and just play like a standard mode.
I mean, to be fair, it's gonna. I mean, the game's gonna sell well regardless. It's sometimes it's hard to tell.
I just don't understand
and how popular an outrage really is, just because of there's a sizable chunk of people that just don't interact online the same way. So it's hard to tell if this is actual an issue or this is just a vocal minority, because sometimes they bleed together and it's hard to tell. Outside of whether or not people are just willing to buy your game or not, but obviously people are willing to buy this game. So
yeah. So
I guess only time will tell with this game. I still think, regardless, because this is like the first of many updates to come. Only time will tell, how well this game actually does in the future. But I still think it's going to sell. It'll sell really well.
And then
I expect this game to surpass 10 million, even without the tie-in bundle. If you were to take those sales numbers away, wouldn't imagine me by lifetime this game easily blows past 10 million.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because what Mario Kart 8 Deluxe had 80 million or something like that, 60 million. I think it was over 60 million copies or something like that worldwide in its life cycle. It was insanely high, and just off that reputation alone. And then obviously, if they continue to add a lot more content, like what they did with 8 Deluxe, that'll obviously keep the game fresh and alive moving forward. That we were talking about wanting more tracks and stuff like that. So,
and then something else we didn't have in the notes that I just remembered. The Fast Fusion update came out yesterday, which has 3 new tracks. They also added the new Pure mode, which is like a I don't know how to explain. It's like a mode that fidelity mode / frame rate mode kind of put together,
like a performance or a quality type mode.
Yeah, it's like it looks and runs better in that mode.
You know what? Because I remember you talking about it, I didn't see anything update about the actual online quality being better than 420p.
Oh, are you talking about with the game share stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see
it's unplayable.
Well, I'm hoping they update that, because overall, it's a good game if you're playing single player.
Or just have a proper multiplayer game where you both have your own copies. You don't have to stream it where you're already going to lose some quality and have some lag. You just have to.
It's a good game, but when you have to do game share and you're both plugged in Ethernet, and even if you had your switches side by side, it wouldn't matter. We've seen there's footage online of people having the switches right next to each other. It doesn't make a difference.
Well, obviously that's not going to matter because it has to go to a server before it comes back. Yeah. So them being right next to each other. Stupid. That's not how it works. That's not how servers.
But it says, in addition to the new tracks, the Pure update will also include a new performance mode, simply called Pure, which renders at 1440p dynamic resolution with no upscaling applied. Fan feedback from the game's release was that the visuals could often look a little blurry due to the application of DLSS. So hopefully this new option will completely eradicate this. That's not all, though. Shannon has also shared that the Alpine Trust track will implement a new GPU particle system for the snowflakes effect. We honestly can't wait to see this in action. So 3 new tracks, that's cool. Switch 2 has not been out that long, so it's cool to see some new tracks on it. I just really do hope that they add like a standard online mode that's not game share, because it would make the game so much better to
Oh
play with
yeah.
other people. I mean, the first time I tried to play it with somebody, we couldn't play at all because it literally wouldn't run on their system. And then playing with you you were playing at
It's like
like
I
how
could play it, but it was terrible quality. Like I couldn't see
it was really
anything
bad.
far
Yeah,
out.
I just don't understand why to not have a standard online mode. But hopefully they add that in because it is a good game, especially for the $15 price tag. But game share, man, come on.
Yeah. And then
What, what we got
so this is
next?
kind of like a 2-in-1. It's a rumor though. Metaphor ReFantazio is rumored to be revealed for the Switch 2 during a July direct.
I
And
can see that.
this comes from a Nintendo podcast from the YouTuber Beat 'em Ups is the one that came out and stated this.
Yeah, interesting.
So obviously take everything with a grain of salt, but this would both be a big game to both come to the Switch and Switch 2, or probably just the Switch 2, as well as I don't know if we ever got a hard date for the next direct being in July. It
Yeah,
wouldn't
no
be
hard
unsurprising.
date yet, but
Second half of the year, there's a lot of games that still coming out for the Switch and Switch 2 that don't have hard dates yet and stuff like that.
yeah,
And stuff like that
this
coming
would be
back
a
after the year, early next year and stuff like that. So
this is a perfect Switch 2 game. Could absolutely run on it.
yeah,
And
as well as
JRPGs like this, I always love to get on Nintendo consoles if I can. But
and if there
uh,
is a direct in July, that'll be whether or not you're getting anything with
yeah,
Prime 2 or 3.
right. Man, I hope those come out soon.
Like Prime 2 could come to the GameCube online, but the problem is 3 is a
That's
Wii
not the
game.
way I want to play it though. I want to
Oh,
play it like a
remastered version of that game with the new
yeah, like
before 4 comes out, obviously, because the story's gonna obviously it's a connected story with those games.
but the fact that they put Wind Waker on there instead of giving us a HD remaster, I could definitely see them doing it.
You look
I
at
don't
this, you're like,
know why.
Nintendo, like your decision making doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense at all. Give us the HD remaster.
Like this is not the preferred way to play it because it's kind of a
I,
downgraded. Even if you fix the
yeah,
scaling mechanics, it's still a downgraded version of the game.
yeah. I mean, the Prime remaster is one of the. I mean, maybe one of the greatest remasters ever made. They just absolutely blew that out of the park. Like,
Oh yeah.
and it was a budget price at that. So like, it was even better. You know,
Yeah,
it was a
remasters should
$40
be a
title.
budget price because you're just remastering. Maybe if you like full on remade the game, that's one thing. But like you
Yeah,
made this money forever ago, and like you're not putting in a full $60, $70 price tag worth of work when you just are upgrading the gameplay and the graphics.
right, right. Yeah, I agree. I agree for sure. Looks like Nintendo came out and gave the file size for Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is going to be 8.5 gigabytes of storage space. News comes as gamers have less than a month to wait for the release of Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yeah,
So
because it's what
I'm really, really excited for this
is
game.
what it comes out in like what 3 weeks or something like that.
Yeah, July 17th.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I mean that's around
I
the
had
corner.
already pre-ordered it because for some reason at the time I thought it was a launch title, so I had already pre-ordered it at Walmart. So I'm hoping it comes launch day because I'm pretty excited to check the game out. I've said a couple of times, I've been more excited about this than even Mario Kart World. Love Mario Kart World, love Mario Kart, but
Because this should be like the big game to come
I'm a
out.
big
You
single
could
player
argue
and
you could argue this
we haven't
game
had a
should
clean
have
Donkey Kong.
you
We
could
haven't
argue
had a
this game
clean
should
Donkey
have been a
Kong
launch
ever.
title and probably should have been a
Right.
launch title for the Switch at this point.
Yeah, because I mean, a bit lacking at launch as
Mario
far as
Kart's great, but it's first of all it's one game. Second of all, not everybody cares to play like a party racing game and stuff like that.
yeah.
They obviously wanted that to be like the flagship, but this and this other games that come later this year are really going to really make or break the Switch 2 library from like its first year.
Yeah. Yeah, I streamed the direct for this. It was like 15 minutes long, and I found it very interesting that they got a young. Here's what's really interesting: they got a young Paulina as like kind of a side character that
Yeah.
does like different stuff while you're playing the game.
Because I mean, Paulina and Donkey Kong, or maybe Donkey Kong Jr. with Mario were always that same universe.
Yeah, but what's weird is, there's a couple ways that you could look at this, but what's weird is that Paulina, Mario is trying to rescue Paulina from Donkey Kong in the original Donkey Kong game. He
Well,
keeping it
technically,
hostage.
it's just the Jumpman, so it wasn't even Mario back then.
Technically, but it was Mario. I mean, yeah, Jumpman. But I mean, it is interesting. And then somebody brought up the point that like, oh, maybe he was trying to steal Paulina, so Donkey Kong was actually protecting Paulina the whole time.
I
But
mean, that's always fun. In reality, it was just a simple arcade game. There was no story behind it. So like,
there's
they're
a
in the same universe. You can refresh it. Unless they're going to
yeah,
bring Mario at the end as a villain, that'd be a turn. They're not going to do it, obviously, but
it'd be funny if they did. But yeah,
this ends literally where the arcade game begins. That'd be a twist.
That would be pretty funny. That would
Like, come
that
on,
would
Nintendo, get some
I'd
balls.
laugh.
Do something,
Yeah.
Do something out of left field for once.
Yeah, for real. What do we got next?
What's next? It's just going to be Peach instead that shows up. She's going to kick her away. Save me, Mario.
I thought this was pretty interesting. Prototype for a canceled Lego Minecraft game is surfaced. I thought it was kind of weird because, like, you can actually see some screenshots of what it would have looked like. And, yeah, I don't.
That doesn't make sense because Minecraft's already a Lego type game.
Yeah, they're like the same thing, so I don't quite understand.
Yeah, that's probably why it was canceled, because they're like,
Craft.
they're sitting here like, well, who's gonna buy this? Like, they would just play Minecraft instead. It's the same.
It's like the same exact thing. Yeah, didn't quite understand. Didn't know this was.
Maybe you're trying to do a Lego Minecraft narrative type game, but even the actual Minecraft type games where they try to do something else seems like just kind of fall flat on their face.
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting, I guess, to see come out. Some actual, like, I guess, an actual screenshot of what might have been. But yeah, kind of weird if you ask me. I don't know. Very interesting.
It makes sense if you're just going to actually make a Lego set. That's one thing, but a game just sounds like a bad idea.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I would say it's probably the right decision.
Yeah, I think so. What do we got next?
We got some new. Obviously, Magic the Gathering just had their collab with Final Fantasy. But it's also coming out that they essentially announced a crossover with Sonic the Hedgehog as well. So all of a sudden, Magic the Gathering's just doing collabs with a whole bunch of IPs, and it's a good way to get new cards and stuff like that, and probably get new people into the Magic, and it's probably a smart for them, because you could argue it's injecting probably new people and a new life into the Magic IP as a whole. That's kind of you just don't hear a whole lot about it. You could argue was kind of stagnant for the longest time.
Yeah, I mean,
Magic is not the easiest. It's not the easiest card game. It can get pretty complex at times.
Yeah,
compared to like a Pokemon, which
sets, but this is even cooler to me. I think it's a very weird mashup. Doesn't make any sense at all. But
it's just the theme cards. Obviously, it still, from what I understand, it should still play the same. But I mean, obviously, you look at a card game like Pokemon. It's a very simple card game to understand for the most part, compared to Magic, which requires all. Obviously, Pokemon can be very competitive and strategy wise, but Magic's like on a whole other level as far as the complexity and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's just me, because I tried and I just couldn't get into it.
I couldn't either. I tried as well. I played a little bit and dabbled in it here and there back in the day with some people that were into it.
Yeah.
I just never got heavy into it that much, or really any card games. I played like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh way back in the day, but Magic, it just never grabbed me.
Yeah, and these were some of the cards they showed and stuff like that. Shoes. What's this? Egg Hammer. You had a Pico Hammer, Power Sneaker, Tornado Sonic Biplane, Egg Pawn. I think the other, Knuckles gloves. So obviously, some people are going to buy these just to have the artwork and because they look cool for some of the good pulls, and some people will actually probably use them for the actual game itself. But
did you open any of your Final Fantasy cards yet?
I opened all of them.
Did you?
I don't think I got any good pulls. I got a few decent ones, but nothing like that's like valuable. But there's a lot of neat cards there. Obviously, it's a really big deck. It's like what the Final Fantasy set. Like if you were to get every single card, it's like 500 some cards for the whole set.
Geez.
It's a massive set.
Hey, give me just a second. You got to move on to the next topic.
No, because he brought that up, and then I know there are some good websites for these. I don't know if this is going to be a good one to show. For obviously those watching on video, these were some of the different types of cards in the Final Fantasy set. So obviously it starts off with the base level stuff, and then like some of the more iconic, or not iconic, but cooler cards and stuff like that, with Aerith, Cloud, Go Jill, kind of showed up. So like at the bottom, it's essentially it's the set. This is what Final Fantasy 7, Dion. That's what 16. I think obviously there's some games that are more popular and going to have more cards to them and stuff like that, but they dug around with a lot of other games. Emmett, yeah, it's 14. Like I saw like some Final Fantasy 3 stuff, but they weren't like some of the older stuff weren't always the most popular. But this was like a lot of cards, massive set. Is that no? That's Final Fantasy 8. Was looking around because I think 7's obviously one of the more popular ones, because that's 9, and that is that's 14. I guess it's just me. I was trying to find old Final Fantasy stuff. I guess that's Final Fantasy 5. I don't know why that turned a different color.
How many Final Fantasy Magic cards are there in total?
I don't know if this is the right set. There's.
I still haven't been able to find any. I would like to get just like one or two of the like 60, or I think I don't know, 40, 60, whatever sets.
So the draft cards are
just a couple to have in the collection. I wouldn't even open them because I'm not a Magic guy. But
I was trying to find a better way to view all these.
I bet the Sonic ones are going to even be even harder to get than the Final Fantasy ones.
So with the draft cards, there's 300. I gotta scroll down. Oh yeah. Alternate art towns are 5. Starter kit, there's 12. Borderless art alternatives, there's 94. Because you can see like every single one and stuff like that. I'm sure there's better chase cards. The alternative art CIDs, SIDs, or whatever you say, there's 14. You got the extended art, there's 99. Surge foil borderless alternative arts, there's 33 of those. Neon ink and serialized chocobo, there's 6 of those. Surge foil full arts, they got the surge foils. So, and I think this should be the last one. That says 585, so I'm assuming with this at the beginning, there's like close to like 600 cards in this set.
Jeez.
And stuff like that. Final Fantasy 6 when he's from. So it's a massive set. Like if you actually wanted to collect them all, you're probably better off just buying them individually, because you'd spend to pull all of them a crap ton of money.
Yeah, sure sounds like it.
Like that base 310 is probably gonna be the easiest, because that's gonna be like the bulk of the cards you're pulling, and then all those other sets, like the other 200, are gonna be like your rare, the different rarity cards that you get at like the end of the pull, kind of like how Pokemon works and stuff like that. The alternative art.
Right. Yeah. Pretty cool though.
Yeah, it really is. And there's still some of those. I've seen some of the cards at like my GameStop and stuff like that. So unlike the Pokemon, you can still somewhat find them.
Used game store decided they want to mark up those $40 sets to $80. The ones that have like the card in the front of it and comes with more cards. You know
what a PO. That's just more reason to never go.
It's bullshit. It makes me not want to support them at all. It's absolute bullshit.
It's like, they say support mom and pop shops, but then they do stuff like that, and you're like, oh, why support a mom and pop? They're just going to artificially mark up something brand new.
They mark everything up, and it's like, I mean,
GameStop both sells it at MSRP, and they have got limits on what you can buy.
I did get one on Amazon. My order got canceled, so there's that. And I was like, oh,
yeah, you got to go buy them in person. You can't buy stuff like this online.
Well, everybody else is. I mean, that's how people are getting them. But I mean, normally my Amazon orders don't get canceled, but every now and again, stuff gets canceled. And whatever. But Gigi wants to know if you can send him some cards, Mark.
If I have some dupes, I could probably send them to you so you can send them out. I say that, and then Brandon will just keep them for himself. So
Oh boy.
I haven't even sleeved all of them yet. I pulled a bunch, and I still have to go through, finish sleeving them, and put them in a binder and stuff like that. So
Yeah. What we got next going on here?
July 3rd, there's more GameCube games coming.
Oh yeah. What GameCube games are coming?
I believe from what you showed me, I think it's just Mario Strikers coming. So an actual one of
Which is a big
actually
one.
the last time we got good Mario sports games were on the GameCube, and that was it.
I mean, it's a good one.
This is
I'm
one of
glad.
them.
I'm glad it's coming because unfortunately, the last soccer game we got was pretty bare bones. I still don't own it,
Just
but
bad in general.
yeah, just from everything I've heard from, I have
Like
to
you have to
get
go
it.
all the way back to the OG Strikers in the GameCube to actually have a good Mario sports game. This and the baseball that they had on the GameCube, you could argue is where they peaked.
Yeah, I knew Mario Sluggers would be pretty freaking awesome. I'd love
It
to
sucks
see
that
it.
they can't make good sports games anymore. Probably because they outsource it to a third party and just give them no budget to work with.
Yeah, I don't get it. Hey, what's up, Gamer Freak? Appreciate having you in here.
What's up? What's up?
So it looks like we got the Forza Motorsport developer reportedly is bracing for layoffs.
Oh yeah, because I know Microsoft came out and said they were doing more layoffs here pretty soon.
Yeah, which is this is a Microsoft-owned company, so
I mean, Microsoft bought how many studios and then just didn't put out any games for like 2 years?
Yeah. It says development comes just over a week after news broke surrounding Microsoft's most recent wave of layoffs, where the tech giant reportedly plans to axe thousands of sales positions in July 2025 and shift the workload to third-party firms. These job cuts aren't even the worst this year, though, as Microsoft eliminated 3% of its global workforce last month, impacting roughly 6,000 positions. So it just seems like more layoffs coming from a division in Microsoft.
I mean, bad management. Probably, to be fair, this is probably just a lot of bloat in the company. Post 2020, where they overhired across the board.
I know people hate to hear it, but a lot of those positions that they're probably axing could be taken over by AI and in a lot of aspects.
It's probably a mixture of AI and those positions are driving up development costs artificially, which is causing problems as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see their exact numbers, but sometimes let's be fair, a lot of these companies just got big for no reason, and it's caused problems in their development on top of just putting out bad games. So obviously you're not getting those massive waves, but these companies are going to continue to try to downsize its development costs, just continue to soar, and AI is going to play a role
for sure. Yep, I think they both play a factor in all of it. So yeah, we just keep seeing layoffs. So it's just going to keep happening.
I mean, you say that, and then Game Rant on their website is using AI to give you a summary of the story. So I don't want to hear these corporate media people complain about AI when they've already implemented it in their own websites. So instead of actually reading the article, AI is just going to give you the cliff notes, and that's all you're going to read. I think that's funny.
Yep. Yeah, I see a lot of podcasts now that how Google does the AI summary at the top of your search now. I see a lot of podcasts that all they read is just the AI summary.
I mean, to be fair, it's AI is kind of hit and miss, either both on Google and with a Chat GPT. AI, if it's doing its job properly, and those summaries aren't always bad, because the idea is it's just supposed to be gathering the information and giving you a summary, and that you can get a good immediate, but obviously you still want to go through and double check, because if you ever used AI for any significant amount of stuff or any kind of research, it's good at bringing information together, but it doesn't always get it right, and you have to go back and double check stuff as well. But to kind of it's to summarize some stuff, as long as you're not on the back end doing some crazy stuff, it's those summaries usually are fairly accurate most of the time.
Yeah, I agree.
It's one of those things. It's you have to understand how it works and how to properly use it and stuff like that.
Right.
As well as understand, you still have to go back and double check, because it can get stuff wrong.
Yeah, for sure. What do we got next?
AI stinks.
What? Oh.
This was I don't know who was asking this or whatever saw it, but Sony essentially came out and said they're not PlayStation Plus will not be what Game Pass is. They're not putting first party titles on it essentially. As well as I know I saw some other stuff as well, pretty much saying that they want to rotate out what's on PlayStation Plus. So you gotta, the idea is force you to play new games, which I know they got some backlash because it's still the same idea of like, oh, here's something that we can just immediately take away whenever we feel like it.
Yep. Yeah, there was just a game. I don't know if it was last week or the week before. I sent it to you. They got taken out of Epic's game store. So whether you bought it or not, and it was in your library, they just.
Oh, I think that was an ongoing issue due to a legal issue, but I think that's just
that's
Epic being
bullshit.
stupid.
They shouldn't be able to take it out of your library if you paid for it.
That is the actual problem, because if you've ever used Steam, plenty of games on Steam have been delisted, but if you've already bought it, you can still play it and re-download it. Like, it's still on their server, you just can't buy it. If you already bought it, you still have access to download and play it on your service, where Epic just seems to be doing the most scummy thing, and they don't want anything to do with it at all, and they're just going to completely axe it. Even if you already have it downloaded, it's just gone, which I think is not a good business practice.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the unfortunate truth is that you don't own these digital games; you just own the license to the games. Doesn't matter what the platform is.
The problem is that's not how it should be. That I would argue that's
not
wrong,
how it should be.
That needs to be changed. You need to go through either getting laws changed or litigate the issue to force these companies.
Europe will probably be the first one to make a move on that, because they seem to be making a move on all kinds of consumer friendly stuff.
I'm like, that's an issue now, but that's an issue that can very easily get rectified and fixed.
Yeah, it should be fixed.
You have to continue pushing for it
and be removed from your library if you paid for it. Whether you're getting your money back for it or not, that's not the point. You paid for the game, you should.
Well, that is a point. If you pay for a game you no longer have access to, you should get a full refund.
Yeah, but I'm just saying they shouldn't be allowed to remove it from the. If you bought it, you bought it. Like, that's how it should be. But unfortunately, you're just buying a license to the game, and you're not buying.
I mean, it's a license right now. Doesn't mean it'll always be like that, and it shouldn't always be like that. And the other issue is, if you actually care to combat piracy, you wouldn't be in favor of these practices, because all this does is just encourage people to just pirate everything, or start pirating these old games and stuff like that. So,
yeah, I mean, yeah. It's craziness.
And piracy is usually an issue of access to games. Either it's too expensive, or you cannot play the games, and that's like your only option.
Right.
That's like the main driving issue when it comes to piracy and stuff like that. It's 100% licensed, even Steam. Yeah, but at least Steam doesn't, like, when a game is delisted, you can still download and play the game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all craziness.
Well, yes, legally it's still a license. Steam at least is generally geared towards the consumer, not towards, game studios as far as most of their practices. Which could change in the future, but, at least for the time being, at least they don't completely screw you over. There's a reason Steam has the PC market cornered, and it'll always be it'll always have the dominant share of the PC market.
Well, next we got Square Enix calls Clair Obscur Expedition 33 success and inspiration for the next Final Fantasy. Says the game's success has sparked discussions about the potential return of turn-based combat in major titles, including Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest games. During a Square Enix shareholders meeting, an investment media reporter cited Clair Obscur's success as a reason for the next Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest games to feature turn-based combat. Final Fantasy XII was the last mainline one to include turn-based combat, and says it's currently working on the third and final entry of the Final Fantasy VII Remake series. So I could definitely see. I don't know.
I've seen a lot of people online saying, like, "Oh, finally we can actually get a proper final." Like, Square Enix is going to actually give us a proper Final Fantasy game now. Because you could argue Final Fantasy's, like, arguably it's always been a turn-based, game.
Well, it hasn't for a long time, but yeah, I mean,
that was always the core.
Back in the day, obviously it was. The core of the series was a turn-based game. It's mixed. But obviously like turn-based, some people don't. Like, I think giving us both, in different forms is
if it's not a mainline,
I like action RPGs too.
if it's not a mainline turn-based game, you're not really. I just feel like you're never gonna really fully give people what they want. Because the side story is always that. It's always gonna be like something like tactics. Like it's neat, but it's not like the mainline game that people would actually want. The main money and the main effort behind.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot they could do with Final Fantasy because there's so many spinoffs that come out that, like, they could do, turn-based for spinoffs, or they could do turn-based for the main line, and then
you should do it for the main line. It's gonna sell well.
It's gonna sell regardless for sure, but I mean, because we do get so many different Final Fantasy spinoffs, there's a lot of avenues they could go down as far as that series goes. Yeah, I mean, I guess, kind of see what Square Enix does with that.
Are you a traditionalist aspect, or are you just like, no, you'd rather have the action RPG?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I mean, I like both, but I haven't necessarily cared for the action RPG in like Final Fantasy 16 or 15. Didn't care for it there. I did like the action style RPG with Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth, though. So I mean, I guess it just depends. But I like turn-based RPGs. My one problem is that those games take so much longer to beat, and are usually
so do the action RPG games. They still require like 60, 70 hours of investment in.
Yeah, but then some of the turn-based stuff, like you talk about like Persona or Metaphor or SMT, and you're talking.
Well, they just need the ability to essentially just fast forward the combat.
Yeah, I mean, I like both. I think now I probably like action RPGs a little bit more, just because I feel like I can get through them a little bit quicker. But I still like turn-based RPGs a lot. So I love what Claire Obscure did. I thought that was fantastic. They did a great job with that game, and it was a great attempt at turn-based RPGs. And if they brought that back and made a resurgence, like it seems to be, I'd be all for it for sure. It's just it's a time investment thing. So
it's official. Only turn-based Final Fantasy moving forward will be accepted. No more action RPG.
No more action RPG. All right, so we got Team Fortress 2 is getting a new big update. Oh, that's interesting.
Which is crazy because this is what
this game's old as hell.
2007 game.
Yeah,
it's like what, another update?
It's getting an update in the near future. Players are being asked to participate and bring it to life. The new Team Fortress 2 update will revolve around the game's PvE mode, man versus
machine.
Yeah, this is wild. This game's old as hell.
So what they say, the update will release in two parts. The first part coming around August 27th, and the second part coming sometime before Halloween.
Interesting.
You'd guess it's some kind of Halloween-themed event coming up in the fall.
Wow.
Which is crazy. I mean, then again, Valve just sits back and makes money with Steam. They don't actually make games anymore.
Yeah, I know. It's like what's going on with Half-Life.
You're going to get Team Fortress 3 before you get Half-Life 3 or GTA 6 at this point.
That's the truth, too.
Isn't that the meme?
Right,
we got this before GTA 6.
Right underneath this article, it says this rumor. This is published in May, but it says rumor Team Fortress 3 could be in the works.
It only took 20 years to make.
A data mining leak thing. It says
because like back in the day, I think we were still like middle high school and stuff like that. Like when Team Fortress 2 was like really in its heyday.
Oh yeah, man! I got the orange box, freaking loved Portal, Half-Life on it, Team Fortress.
Because like to be fair, like if you look at even now for a game from 2007, it artistically just hasn't really aged all that bad.
No, it holds up.
You could argue some of the mechanics are old and stuff like that, but it's a really good game, especially if you go back and look at some of the old like fan maps and stuff like that. Which are
for sure.
There's a lot of old stuff, like old internet references and a lot of these old maps that are still up that you can find and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Like 2008, 2010 in internet culture, it's crazy if you look back at some of the old maps and stuff like that.
This is Mark W. Bags, your favorite game. I think they meant to put what's your favorite game.
My favorite all-time game? I mean, that has to be Yoshi's Island, hands down.
Dang. That's a good game.
On the SNES.
It's a good game.
I would argue it's one of the best.
SNES sucks, so it doesn't hold up at all.
Yeah, whatever.
Making fun of the NES.
I think it's one of those games that holds
Nobody
up.
plays that crap anymore.
It's one of the best platformers out there.
That game's garbage.
You're garbage.
Is this a repeat on the Sony
Yeah, it is.
news?
Yeah, I think, yeah, it's a repeat.
Wow, we only have a couple things left. Crazy.
Like there was some good stuff. I just from what I remember, not a big thing. Unless I can give you a little intermission real quick.
Sure.
Because if you are into gacha games, we finally got a new gacha game that finally. Oh my god! You know you want more stuff.
No.
If you're into gacha or anime horse racing, we finally got Umamase Pretty Derby. Just had its global release, bringing horse racing to the masses of cute anime girls that you train and have to race. Obviously, it's a gacha, it's free to play, or you can just spend a boatload of money. But yeah, this game just dropped, and obviously, it's for people in this scene. It's making a lot. Yeah, it's on
it's mobile Android too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's on Apple, Google Play Store, and Steam.
I literally might download it on Steam just to see how stupid it is.
At the very least, it's a free to play. You know, it's for like a lot of gacha. There's a lot of stuff on like the screen that might take a little getting used to. Both the YouTube and the in-game tutorial and stuff like that, you know, have a lot of resources. But obviously, the idea is like you're a horse trainer of like a high school anime girl. That's a horse girl. They're called Umamusume. That's the title. It's like a made up word essentially, and you train them, and they there's like a story, or you can just play the actual train them to racing and stuff like that. And it's both a PvE/PvP. So there's a story, so you can like up your stats, and then eventually you can go online against other people and do the whole PvP. Though like a lot of these other games, if you're doing any massive amount of PvP, a lot of it's quasi or full on pay to win type stuff. But that's kind of how gacha stuff works.
Pretty much, yeah. Gamer Freak asked, "What game you playing tomorrow?"
I have no idea.
I tried to ask you earlier. So
I didn't know. I didn't have an answer. So I didn't respond because I was like, I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm honestly not sure. Did anything new come out?
I don't know.
Multiplayer. This is gonna be our last stream for a long time. So
you know what? I found Brandon's game on Steam just now because I know Brandon is a huge furry. Obviously, there was that Wild Assault, mostly positive, came out in April.
Oh my god.
It's a hero third-person shooter as a bunch of anthropomorphic animals or furries.
Are you able to pull up what's top multiplayer on Steam right now? I don't know how. You know more about Steam than I do. Like, if there's anything new, I mean.
Hang on, because I.
Hey, what's up, Tyke?
No there is stuff that I have on Steam that I don't want to accidentally pull up. Let me pull it up real quick. Well, because not everything is like appropriate on Steam. Like there's a game called that popped up, and this is on the Steam sale. It's called V-Lover.
Bro, I saw worse than that looking at the sales earlier.
It's like you become a manager at a VTuber production by a twist of fate, tasked with the important mission of nurturing 3 VTubers.
Bro, I saw,
and it is a NSFW game, and that's just right there on the page.
Let's see, cooperative. I'm just trying to see if
on the Steam summer sale.
Brand new.
It's under $10, 10% off. So like there's stuff that pops up that I was just like, better be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you can go to like.
I'd like to find a new release if possible, but.
There's third-person shooter that popped up for me, but that's like a lot of stuff's geared towards the summer sale.
Yeah.
Like if you want to play a terrible game, Guardians of the Galaxy, it's 90% off. $6.
The game's great.
I mean,
it's a terrible game. That game's really good. It really is. I played it on PS5. It's really good. Borderlands 3 is $3.
I'd argue it's still too expensive for that game.
Yeah, no. I got it on PS5. I'm good on that one. Well, just trying to look here to see if there's something new.
Oh, there you go, Ratchet and Clank. It's half off.
I got it on PS5. I'm good.
You got Dead Space. It's only $12 right now.
I got a bunch of stuff in my cart, way too much. I got to figure out if I even want to get it. I got $70 worth of games in my cart right now.
Oh, you can get Star Wars Bounty Hunter right now for $10. It's half off.
How do I go to find like new release multiplayer games?
The problem is everything's geared towards like the sale right now, so it's the Steam page isn't what it is. Usually, like if you just go to the main store page and you scroll down like by category, you can go like fighting, role playing, open world.
I found cooperative. I'm just trying to see if there's anything new.
The problem is it's Steam sale. Everything's geared towards the Steam sale.
I know.
So you'd have to go towards like top selling stuff, but the way the Steam page is right now,
to be honest with you.
Yeah, during the Steam sales, everything's it's really just geared towards the sale itself.
Right. Categories.
But yeah, you go to categories, you can search for whatever you're looking for specifically. Like, you can still browse by first person shooter, but it's going to show you first person shooter, geared towards, this specific Steam sale stuff.
Right.
It's all pushed to the front.
I don't know. I'm not sure. What's this peak is a
that's the correct answer. We just play Team Fortress 2. It's free to play.
It says Peak is a co-op climbing game where the slightest mistake can spell your doom, either solo or as a group. It came out June 16th. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out.
Yeah, we will.
I've been wanting to play Repo, but it came out a while ago. I just kind of want to play something new. It is on sale too.
Like 2 months is not new enough.
Well, no, I was just wondering if there was anything that just came out that
I don't think so. I haven't seen anything major drop recently.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Well, anyway, there's that. So next we got, I guess would probably be the biggest announcement for the week, which is very interesting. Microsoft reveals MetaQuest 3S Xbox Edition headset and controllers. So I was like, this is really cool, except the fact that they went with the lower tier MetaQuest model. I don't know why they didn't just go with the 3, the better model with better visual.
Probably because it's cheaper.
Yeah, probably because it's cheaper, but it comes with an exclusive Xbox controller that you can only get with this bundle. It's the only MetaQuest that's collared and but all of them are white. This one's black with green accents on it to match the Xbox aesthetic. I was like, I've been wanting to get a MetaQuest 3. I have no interest in the 3S just because the dumbed down version of.
Yeah, because with this, 3. It's $400. You get the black and green Xbox branded 128 gigabyte Quest S3 headset, the black and green Touch Plus controllers, limited edition Xbox wireless controller, the MetaQuest Elite strap, 3 months of Meta Horizon Plus, and 3 months of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate.
Like, it's not a bad deal for everything that you get with the controller and the months that you get with the different stuff. Like, it's if you don't have one, it's a good option.
3S, it's dual LCDs with 1832 by 1920 resolution per eye, 96 degree field of view, up to 120 refresh rate, and it's using the Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2 processor with 8 gigabytes of RAM and obviously 128 storage.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I mean, they really are doubling down on the whole "this is an Xbox" campaign. Bringing they got the Xbox.
I mean, to be fair, this is only $100 more than just the plain MetaQuest S, and that's mainly a new color scheme,
And you're getting the
alone
controller.
covers the bulk of that. And then obviously the Meta Horizon Plus and the 3 months of Game Pass.
I mean, it's not a bad deal for what you're getting. You're getting the
you're getting the extra $100 is what the controller's only like $80, $60-$80. So the bulk of that's in the controller alone.
Yeah, and it is a pretty cool looking controller. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I mean, it definitely looks cooler than the standard MetaQuest 3S. I like the black with the green accents. I think it looks cool. Definitely interesting. I've seen very mixed opinions on people's thoughts on it. They went with the cheaper model. I would have probably have gotten this if they went with the actual 3 model, not the 3S. But
it would have driven up the cost, and they probably were afraid it would be too expensive to get
probably
people to try and buy it.
Because I know it's something me and you both had interest in getting at some point, but it's just like not a top priority. But
VR still seems too gimmicky to me at large that I would play. I just wouldn't spend a lot. I'd play it for like a week or two, and then I just wouldn't touch it ever again.
I'd probably play more if I wasn't freaking had to be tethered to a PlayStation 5 and have a cord in the way, and just it's super annoying if it was wireless and the option to use.
Let's be fair. You want actual an actual VR like SAO type.
Yeah, pretty much. That is pretty much what I want. I'm not gonna lie. When I think about VR, I do think about that a lot.
$1,500. I'm in day one.
Count me in. I can lay down and be in a fantasy world, and I'm in.
Just put a feeding tube in my mouth and never come out.
But it is an interesting announcement. I'm sure it'll sell. A lot of Xbox fans will probably grab it. People that don't have it yet. I mean, it's a good option for.
I mean, there's not a lot of them left, so hopefully a lot of them buy it.
Yeah, and it's weird that they said it's going to be limited. So how limited, I don't know, but they're not going to be producing.
It's that FOMO, the fear of missing out. It's going to help them drive up the cost because they said it was like a permanent thing. They wouldn't sell as fast, probably.
Probably. Yeah, I don't know how limited or for how long they're going to be producing it, but
I guess if you're trying to find a more affordable VR, it wouldn't be the worst place to start. But obviously, if you really wanted to get into it and have a really good, high-end experience, there's obviously better headsets to go with.
Yeah, it's just I feel like if you're already going to drop the 400, just spend the extra 100 and get the better model with you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
unless you're really dedicated to how this looks, so you're just trying to collect it.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see a lot of people getting that. It's just a collectible, to be honest with you. But yeah, interesting announcement, I suppose. And
turn around, $800 resale.
And then we did talk about earlier with some Xbox layoffs, but we did get like a pretty much confirmation that it's going to be another round of Xbox layoffs that are expected next week. That are going to be all over with Activision Blizzard, Bethesda, first-party Xbox studios. It's going to be kind of all over Embracer Group. So it's just going to be all around layoffs. I mean, obviously Xbox is just not doing well. It's very apparent.
Well, the problem is they have this console nobody's buying, and they bought all these studios that aren't pumping out games.
I know. I mean, at this point, I almost see
it's looking like a
doubled down and that they are making a new console. They came out and said that they're making a new console.
Well, the other problem is. And you could argue because Sony's been doing the same thing, but at least people are buying their console. Like all these games you can buy on PC, Game Pass day one. So why even bother with an Xbox when you just buy a PC and still have access to all these games?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't make sense.
At least when Sony brings their stuff to PC, it's like a year later. So if you really want to play it, you're gonna get it. You're gonna play it on the PlayStation first.
Yeah,
and then you're gonna wait at least a year. And then outside of Stellar Blade, you probably have to wait 2 years because it's going to be a broken mess at launch. That's the track record so far.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that Sony is probably getting it in their head that they need to be more day and day with PC and PlayStation. I think that's.
I feel like that's gonna long term. Same with the Xbox, that'll probably hurt console sales for people that have like the money for both a console and a PC. If they can just get a day one on PC, why even bother with the console? They'll just buy the game, not your hardware.
That's true. There's a couple ways to look at it, I guess.
Because you could argue that's really what's hurting Xbox, both with Game Pass
like for me,
and with Game Pass on PC.
Like I would personally prefer, like if the game is going to be a PC game as well, to be day and day and just get it on PC. Like I would rather get it.
Yeah, and then that gets you to the point where it's like, well, why bother? Why waste a few hundred? on the actual console.
You saw what happened with Stellar Blade. It sold like crazy on PS5 and then sold even crazier on PC. So like I don't know, maybe they're like, maybe we shouldn't.
Well, to be fair, Sony's been kind of like, we'll release it, and then it's like, we may bring it to PC. We're not going to tell you right away, so you still buy it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say what they're going to do.
It's also, unlike a lot of other games, it's also like an actually decently good game. It's not hot garbage. So, good games by themselves will sell. Bad games is
Oh. Disappeared. Mark disappeared.
Yeah, you're hitting buttons.
I didn't hit nothing.
Yeah, I wasn't even touching anything.
I didn't hit nothing. You were in the middle of talking. And then I guess the last thing we got, you want to dive into that?
Yeah, because obviously it's like always been a hot topic, but anytime Sakurai comes out, obviously a lot of people are huge fans of Smash Bros. But he pretty much came out and said, the game industry will like need AI moving forward. Like we've kind of already talked about it. Like this is kind of like a tech that's here to stay. But the fact that you've got like major developers coming out and being like, yeah, like we don't see a problem with AI. It's probably going to come in and do a big thing. What was it? Let me pull it up real quick. So this was coming from over on Twitter via Genki. He stated, Sakurai says current large-scale game development is becoming too time-consuming and unsustainable. He feels it can't continue like this, and one of the only solutions he can think of at this moment is generative AI to increase work efficiency. He feels we are reaching a point where we have to change our scheme to making games, and that it will become an era in which only companies that can successfully adapt to these changes will survive. So obviously, a lot of people are going to jump to their own conclusions when it comes to AI, but the idea that we've kind of talked about this before in the past, the idea that AI as a tool to help supplement not do the work for you, but as a supplemental tool will be helpful, especially when it comes to because a lot of games are open world and there's a lot of tedious work that goes in the open world. You can, and who knows how these studios are going to actually use it, but the idea is you can use AI to help give you a framework of like a world in some ways, or an easy way to populate, say, a lot of stuff in the world, and then you can go back through and just tweak or move stuff around to fix it. But it can take a lot of the time-consuming tediousness out of it, mainly because you could argue open worlds themselves are harder to develop because you have to focus on the full world. It's not like a linear map where there's a very set amount that you actually have to do and stuff like that, and you don't have to put as much effort or work into like certain levels and stuff like that. And I'm sure there's I'm not a game developer, so there's probably ways they could use AI that I can't even think of. But I mean, AI is here and it's here to stay. But the idea is if you're using it to be more time efficient, hopefully this AI would help keep development costs down as well.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Obviously, it can't do the work for you. It can't take over
doing the work of other people, but it can help maybe speed up the process, help with some of the pre-production work.
If there's a lot of tedious, because it's not like you haven't used AI. There's been some big games out there that have used what is it called, where you're just generating a world fresh every time. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. I don't know why I can't think of the word, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I immediately blank. But like it's not like you haven't been using like a base level what AI does to just like say
essentially the game is different every single time.
You try to like randomly generate like say a dungeon every time essentially. Yeah. That's kind of like what AI would do is like in its very infancy. But the idea that you're going to be using this to help, as a tool, and it kind of like Photoshop as a tool for photographers, and you go through using AI in that same way to help speed it up and to just
it doesn't take over,
make it work more efficient.
Yeah, it doesn't take over.
But obviously, there's going to be places like EA that'll just have AI do large chunks of the work, so they can just continue to profit off of a full price game that they didn't put work into. But they do that already, so
pretty much. Yeah. For sure.
But I mean, I just saw this and I was like, it's when you have somebody as big as Sakurai, who's well known, come out and saying like, hey, this could be a good thing. It kind of shows you where the mind of the developer is, even if a lot of people are kind of against it. But I feel like we're rehashing it. It was like we talk about the same kind of new technological advances, like when it comes to like touch screens and like phones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Early
Yeah,
on, it was
exactly.
like a stupid overpriced. It's never going to catch on now. It's just kind of like a normal thing. And I think in a decade or so, AI is going to be the same thing. You're just going to be used to it. It's just going to be that new technology that's part of your life. Technology
Yes.
is always
Yep.
advancing, and life just kind of adapts to the new technologies and stuff that we have.
Oh, holy crap. We got like 1,000 comments. Tyke said, do you guys like Xbox? Yeah, I like Xbox. Not my
I like
favorite
them more in the
platform,
past, but
yeah.
they've definitely dropped off. I'll say that much. But
Tyke said,
so is
sack
Sony.
on these nuts. Okay. Palmer Froggy Guy 6 said, I'd love to see you play something gruesome. Are you playing more Mario Kart? Do you like Switch? Okay, yeah, let's answer these one at a time.
Just
Are you playing
going
more Mario Kart? I don't know
spam
what we're
questions.
playing yet tomorrow. Do you like Switch? Yeah, of course I like Switch. Open world games are best. Are you a Zelda fan? Yep. I think we're both Zelda fans. Do you like Pikmin? I do like Pikmin. Mark, do you
I
like
picked up
Pikmin?
some of like the 1 and 2. I haven't got around to playing them yet though.
Who's your favorite Pokemon? Mine's Gardevoir, followed by Umbreon.
Brandon's a confirmed furry.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Who's your favorite Pokemon, Mark?
It's probably Rayquaza, however you say his name.
Good Pokemon. Mark and Brandon, where are you guys from? I am from Ohio. Mark, where are you from?
I mean, technically, I'm from Ohio. We went to high school together.
Yeah. You are technically.
I live in Wyoming right now, but in like 4 days, I won't be in Wyoming anymore because I'm moving. So,
Zapdos said, one day I want to visit Canada. All right. And is it?
yeah, I'm not going to answer that last one.
Yeah, I'm not getting into politics.
No, it's not a politics. Yeah.
Oh boy, we can go on and on. Yeah, I think that's all we had for this week, right? Pretty short episode.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good stuff, but just not a whole lot. I mean, there was some stuff that happened last week. Kind of, I don't know, the way news cycle works is kind of old news by now. I didn't want to go too hard into it.
I mean, bro, there's even news coming out during the podcast. Like,
yeah, no. So I mean, but it's like the first time. It's like 1 week we go 3 hours. The next one, it's barely making 2 hours.
What it is. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, we appreciate everybody watching, hanging out. We are streaming tomorrow, live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what we're playing yet. We'll have to figure it out probably after the podcast, and then I'll put out. Yeah, I'll put out what we're going to be playing and stuff and get that scheduled. But any last thoughts, Mark?
I think we're good. Just I don't know, get into some anime horse girl racing. You have a good time.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be so much fun. All right, we appreciate everybody watching, listening. Of course, all the audio platforms. Be sure to follow, like the episode, whatever the platform allows. It definitely helps out. And we'll see y'all later. Have a good one, guys.
Peace out, everybody.